Hey there guys, welcome to another episode of Texas Beer Reviews, and today we will be looking at Deep Ellum's Dallas Blonde. Oh wait, what? Focus. Okay, that's good enough, whatever. This is their blonde ale. Doesn't really have a description on the can, but it is 5.2% ABV, 23 IBUs. It uses pale Vienna and Wheat malts. It just says American hops, doesn't say which hops, and it is available year-round. I haven't seen everything Deep Ellum has here in Houston, but a lot of it. And this one's one of the ones that's pretty available, pretty easy to get. So I've never had this beer before, so crack it open and get into it, see what I think. So right, this bad boy down. Okay, so pretty nice light amber color to it. Pours a pretty thick white head, pretty translucent, but I mean, it looks like a nice blonde ale, typical for the style there. Let's get into the aroma. Yeah, that's nice. So it's got a nice malt presence to it, nice kind of biscuity, weedy, crackery malt. Has a bit of that floral, slightly citrusy, slightly spicy hop characteristic to it, but it feels really balanced. Doesn't feel like it's too much hops for the style or too much malt. It's like a nice balance to it. So let's get into the taste. Cheers. Okay, it's a little different. It's good. So has a very nice pillowy sort of wheat, bright malt characteristic to it, and a very bright hop presence to it. I'm getting a little bit of that metallic flavor. Might be too cold. Sometimes it happens with cans, sometimes it happens with bottles. Usually it's something that I experience if it's too cold. It might happen, but let's see if it warms up a bit. That'll fade. But okay, I don't notice as much on the second sip. Flavors are they're not too subtle. They're light and they're pretty bright, but they're not super subtle. I'm definitely getting a bit more malt character than hops. On the taste here, a lot of that bright, kind of a pillowy wheat biscuit malt character like I described. That's pretty much the dominant flavor. You get just a slight bit of, it's not, I want to say a slight hop characteristic that lingers, but it's not very intense. It's mostly the malt characters that I'm getting on this. I don't get any real bitterness, to be honest, even for the 23 IBUs on such a light malt, or a bright, kind of a, I guess, more pale and malt character to it. I don't get that as, I don't get the hops as much. I lost my train of thought there watching my cat in the window. But overall, I think it's a solid beer. I haven't had a blonde ale in a while. I think I'd want maybe a little bit more of a citrusy hop character to it. I got it more on the nose, but maybe not so much on the flavor. Back to the mouthfeel. I kind of skipped that. Yeah, it's full for a blonde ale. The carbonation's spot on. Not too much carb, not too light. The mouthfeel's a bit more of a light, medium light mouthfeel to it, a little bit thinner. I will say though, I mean, it's not, the flavor doesn't fade too quickly. I think it does, the malt character does linger a bit, which is nice. But overall, I think it's a solid beer. I don't have blonde ales too often. There's not any I can recall that I would pick out over this. I think this is pretty solid for it. And, you know, Fireman's 4 is another one that I'd like to review here. But just what comes to mind. But I think it's pretty solid. So if you want something that's nice, light, bright malt character to it, and maybe a bit more reserved on the hop quality to it, you know, and light, you know, basically none to very, very light bitterness, I think you would enjoy this. But other than that, quick slight shout out to Chris Horsley. Looked for the Easy Peasy. He had made a suggestion for me to review that. I tried to find it today. They didn't have any on the shelves at the HEB or the specs that I went to. So as soon as that comes back in, I'll pick up a can of that and review. But I do have the Deep Ellum IPA coming up pretty soon. Anyway, that's what I think of Dallas Blonde. So that said, think global, drink local, and cheers.